Hello. Let's adjust this. Oh, that did not go well. I'm just gonna adjust my lighting a little bit. I don't like the shininess. Okay, I like this. Great. Okay. Hi, Tamara. I'm going to add you to. There you go. Good morning, everyone. Oh, Tamara, I just added you. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good afternoon. Oh, good noon. How are you doing?
So great to see you on a second Saturday in a row.
I know, right? Because we were at the menopause show last weekend, and today we're talking about menopause,
Very much.
perimenopause.
And happy uh, International Menopause Month and Awareness. Actually, the actual day was the 18th, so the day that
Okay.
we met each other at the National Menopause Show.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm super excited to be here with you today. I know we've been talking about having a live forever. And now we're actually getting to make it happen. And I love that it's such an important topic for both of us, for both our worlds, because Tamara is a menopause fitness and nutrition coach, really working with women who are a little bit older, but still vivacious like yourself. And I help women with dating from a human design and total alignment and embodiment point of view. So I think that this is such an important topic because whether we like it or not, every woman is probably going to go through perimenopause and eventually menopause.
Yes.
This,
Yes. Well, I think that is so brilliant, combining human design with dating. Like, I think that's absolutely perfect. I couldn't. Wow. I applaud you for that because I think your clients will find the right the right person for them, or soulmate. Based,
yeah,
yeah. So, and I also believe in a bio individual experience. So, therefore, I think the two do integrate really well.
hmm I agree. I agree. It's really phenomenal. It's really changed the game for me when it comes to love and relationships. And that's something that perimenopause also does to a lot of women. So I think we can get into today's topic in terms of really what is perimenopause and how does it affect women? How can women know when they're there or getting there? Because most people don't. And what are some of the ways that it could affect or impact the dating game? So how they were pre versus how they are in it. I haven't hit it
Love
yet, but
question.
I know it's around the corner for me. So for me, this is also information for me as well, for me to educate myself as I prepare for this world of perimenopause. So over to you, Tamara. What is perimenopause?
And I think it's such a great opportunity for those going through perimenopause, for the fact that we're starting to find out how we can sort of at least control some symptoms. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but what perimenopause is, the 4 to 10 years prior to menopause, and menopause is essentially um, 1 year, like 1 full year, 12 months of not having a menstrual cycle. And then you're in post or just menopause pretty much forever thereafter. So it's not something that you're like, oh, I'm done. I've complete, like I've checked that off.
Yeah.
No, you are in menopause forever, and you can have symptoms later on. But I'm going to say the most hormonal and sort of chaotic time would be in perimenopause, because that's when your hormones start declining, and you really feel the symptoms quite a bit, because estrogen does have receptors throughout your whole body. So it's not just hot flashes and night sweats. It will affect your brain, it will affect your skin, your hair, your nails, your gut microbiome. So it's absolutely everything. And really, awareness and education is key. There are tons of places that we can look, such as the Canadian Menopause Society, or the Society, which is based in the US, as well as tons of books such as Estrogen Matters by Avril Blooming. Tamsin Fidel wrote an amazing book called How to Menopause.
Love that.
And I mean, there's just so many resources now, and support and guidance. There's also online menopause clinics such as Coral, Felix, Modern Menopause in Canada. There's tons in the US.
Mhm.
So there's tons of resources.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't want to put the fear out.
No, we need to. We need to because I remember I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of years ago, and she had said to me, "Oh, I'm feeling a certain way," and I said, "Oh, maybe you're in perimenopause," and she was like, "Never,
Fear
not for me." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're 50. It's gonna happen, right? It's not about ignoring it. You can't wish it away. You can't pray it away. Education, like you're saying, is so key because now you know how to manage it. It's not the end of the world. There are things that you can do. So maybe we need to scare people into that awareness so that they can actually take care of themselves and do the things that they need to do. So let's go back to the symptoms because some people might be in denial thinking, well, I'm not that old, but it happens to people even in their 30s. So what are some of the common symptoms and also the unusual symptoms that might actually mean that you're in perimenopause?
Okay, so there are, buckle up. No, I'm just kidding. There are over 100 symptoms. And I get that information through Andrea Donsky of We This. So she has researched and is a big part of the Menopause Society in research. But so we all know about hot flashes and night sweats. But there's also anxiety, depression, brain fog, word recall. Like you just can't remember, like it's on the tip of your tongue what you were going to say or
Hmm.
incident. There are, let's see what else. There's joint pain, uh, frozen shoulder.
Ooh.
Means you can't lift your shoulder up higher or your arm up higher than
Okay, I'm just checking.
you don't have it. Yeah. Lucky. So, and then like there's what, let's see, I'm having a brain fog right now. So there's issues, which I had heart palpitations. That's kind of scary, and that's what Oprah had. All of a sudden, you get these little heart palpitations, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, I'm having a heart attack." No, it's not.
Mm.
Just that is a symptom. But then there is fat distribution, is where you might have had fat around your hips and your glutes. Now it's up in your mid abdomen and perhaps even around the back. There's visceral fat that we can obtain, and not everyone's going to go through all these symptoms. It's a very unique process, very individualized.
Mhm.
And then there's dry skin, there's dry hair, there's moodiness, and there's rage sometimes in perimenopause. Like you can go from 0 to 60, whereas you might have been a really calm person before in no time. That actually has happened to me.
No, not you. You're very calm.
Yes. And then strange ones are like a metal taste in your mouth or phantom smells. Um, there's just, yeah, there's honestly, I would encourage, just not again out of fear, but just out of awareness, for those to look at the symptoms that We Are Morphus has provided on their website.com. Yeah, so I think there are ways, and I know there are ways that we can help mitigate those symptoms and get ahead of the curve. Um, Again, awareness is out. So those of you in your 40s, I've passed that. I'm postmenopause. I was shocked, but and then when I started learning about it, I started connecting the dots, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like that in this, and I did have the night sweats, the heart palpitations, the hot flashes, brain sure. Uh, yeah. So, and then what you want to do now that you're becoming more aware, you want to start tracking your symptoms. And you want to sort of look at the things that might trigger that. Perhaps even with hot flashes, it could be foods, it could be hot sauce, it could be alcohol, it could be, you know, really anything. So you just want to become much more aware of what's
Mhm.
in your body in and around those times.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I just thought that, I always thought that once you have hot flashes, you always have hot flashes. It doesn't matter and that there's no way to control it because I see all these women, like even at the show last week, you and
Yeah.
I were joking because, you know, it was, like, I was freezing cold and a lot of women there were just like, I'm like, oh, geez. So if you're on here and maybe you're pre-peri or you're in peri and you have questions, feel free to ask. And if you have unusual symptoms as well. I think there was one you mentioned to me a couple of weeks ago, Tamara, where you said that feeling of never feeling full. So you're eating and you're eating. And
Well,
I said
all of our hormones are affected. So our leptin and ghrelin hormones are affected at that time as well. So which means your hunger and your satiation hormones. So some it's you don't like you feel like you're always craving things, and then satiation hormones don't really like you just never realize that you're full like you did before. So there, yes, that's right. There is that too. And insulin resistance, that's another thing that we want to be wary of because that's what brings on the visceral fat and the extra weight that many women do complain about.
Okay. Okay. So we've talked about the first thing is being aware, right? Educate yourself, knowing that this is coming. Like there's no wishing or praying this away. It
Yeah,
is coming. So being aware of what are some of the common symptoms and what you need to know, get yourself educated about perimenopause. And then when you start getting into it, start documenting and tracking all the changes that your body is going through, all the hormones, and then also some of the things that you might be doing that might be triggering some of the symptoms so that you can start to manage it a bit more effectively.
exactly.
I think there's a question there. It says, thank you for sharing. Oh God, now I can't even see properly. How long does perimenopause typically last? I know it's different for different people, just a baseline. Okay.
How long does perimenopause typically last?
Mm-hmm.
Again, different. Yes, you're right. 4 to 10 years, but it can start as early as your late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have go through menopause in their late 40s. Typically, it's about 50, anywhere from 50 to 55 that you're going that 12-month transition.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always women. What did we
I
do?
know. We have then pregnancy and now this.
I know, right? Okay, so let's bring it to dating, because I do work with women in their 40s, in their 50s, and a lot of the time, and it was interesting when you and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. How do you think that these changes might be impacting their relationships? Like just you talking about the potential of rage, I can see how that could just send a man packing and just be like, okay, I'm out of here. You're crazy. You lost your damn mind. I don't know who you are. But what are some of the other ways that these hormonal changes, if not controlled or if not understood or if not shared with your partner, could actually be sabotaging your relationships?
Well, it's an interesting transition for both, I think, dating as well as perimenopause, is that this is a time of sort of redefining your life. You're called to look within, you're called to sort of look around. And you also tend to have this receptor that you know the people that align with you. And a lot of people call it a no BS. You're just, you don't have patience and time for that anymore, or you're not as resilient.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're not as performance ridden. It's also a time to look within and come home to yourself. So then I think what will happen is you'll start to magnetize and align with people that are truly, align with you, I should say, rather than,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I always just thought it was an age thing, but just seeing how, and again, we just said, oh my God, women, it's always us. But look at how perfect God source universe is, where there's an inbuilt mechanism within us that triggers us when, okay, it's time now. It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to go within and become more aligned with your true self, and now really step into that higher version of yourself. I never saw it that way. I never thought that perimenopause could be that switch, but just listening to you, I think it's the switch. It's in there. So you're right, because the women that I work with are no longer here for the superficial BS. Everyone's trying to be a certain way. Everyone's trying to be like everybody else. Now it's like, this is who I am. Take it, or yeah, that's the door. Keep it moving, right? And
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes, which helps you weed out, those that are not for you and those that are. So,
yeah,
I perfect time. I mean, I'm married. I met my husband a long time ago. Well, actually, a little later, at 38, 38. Yeah, we got married. So, yeah. So again, and I think meeting someone later, it works really well because you start to know yourself.
yes.
Thing that perimenopause does initiate is that we do lose a bit of ourselves, or what we knew as our identity. And I think that in this conversation, I think that it is our performance identity, or the identity that we always thought we should be the one ticking off the boxes, living outside of ourselves, making sure that we're, performing and performing. And so again, that's why I think it's such a positive and welcoming and opportunity to really get to know yourself,
Mhm.
really are, and then attract those that best align.
Okay. So that's the good side of things. So let's talk about the horror side of things, because with everything there's duality, right? So some people might embrace this new phase, this new transition as like, okay, now I'm coming home to myself. I now know who I am. I know what I want. And then some people will be like, okay, it's time for me to be alone. Like, I don't want to have to deal with anybody else's BS. I'm just in my own world. And they start to separate themselves from, if they're in a relationship, from their partner, or if they're single, they're no longer interested in dating. Because I also meet those women who say, I'm done, not interested, I want to be by myself. What advice would you have for women so that they understand that this is not a now I need to go hide and be by myself, versus this is actually something that is positive, is supposed to help you be able to have even better relationships?
Well, again, this is another time that we need to be more social. Yes, we do need some time to ourselves to figure it all out, and become healthy, and go through all the changes. Give ourselves grace in that way. But this is a time to be social because it's so important to our health. So we need to be out there with girlfriends and dating if you're um, you, if you're in the dating scene. So I think, yeah, I would not advise that to stay on your own and not explore dating, because you never know who you're going to.
Yeah. But again, so if you don't have your hormones under control, if you're not even aware,
Right.
right? And now you're in that. I like the symptom about rage, because I see a lot of women who can go zero to. Look, I've always been 0 to 1,000. So for me,
Really?
I'm worried for anybody who I'm with when I'm in perimenopause, because I'm already 0 to 1,000. I'll probably be 0 to 1,000,000, burn down the house, and then be like, oh my God, where are we gonna live? But for women who, how can they manage some of those symptoms when they're dating? And is that information that they should let the other person know that I'm currently going through this, and I might say certain things that I don't necessarily mean, and be patient with me? Is that information that we should be sharing, or is it men figure it out?
Absolutely. We need to share this information with men so that they understand what we're going through. So therefore, they can allow the space, and then enjoy when we're sort of feeling better about ourselves. So absolutely, I would let people know, and then I'm excited to talk about what I do.
But
Because,
yeah, we're gonna get there in a second. We're
yes,
gonna get there.
because that's almost like awareness and education, but my number one is coming.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about, so for those just joining, we're talking about all things perimenopause and how we can impact your life, how it's a trigger for the new transition of your life, the better you, the next phase of your life, the no BS phase of your life, and how you can manage it. So we've talked about education is key, number one. And then two, you need to be aware of the symptoms and start tracking and start knowing what shifts are happening in your body and how that's impacting the symptoms that show up in your life. And then we also talked about how that also can impact your relationships. And if you're dating, how it can impact your dating, and how this is not a time for you to go into isolation. This is a time for you to be social. This is a time for you to get out there as you're discovering your real self, and you're getting rid of all that performative mindset that we had growing up, saying that we had to be a certain way, and now you're really returning home to who you are. You need to be out there more. You need to be socializing with the right people now, not just anybody. No, it's no longer a checklist. It's now, who are the right people for me? What kind of conversations do I need to be having? What kind of people fill my cup, pretty much align with who I am becoming. And so now we're going to move on to the next phase, which is, how do we manage this stuff? Like, how can we reduce the impact of perimenopause? Because I know that for some women, it's reduced their ability to do so many things. Like, some women are they no longer have a drive for life. They no longer have a drive for sex, but let's just call it life. Like, they don't really feel motivated. They're not energized. They're tired all the time. They're moody. We already talked about moodiness. And they might be gaining a bit of weight in areas that are not necessarily flattering. So what are some of the ways that we can prevent or manage this phase of our lives?
Well, absolutely, it's lifestyle. It's lifestyle first and foremost, and that's something you can start now. And I will get back to the symptoms, what you can do about those as well, because there's a lot of support and guidance out there. But it's definitely lifestyle, which includes exercise and movement and strength training, because we do lose muscle mass and bone density as we age. So just to even preserve and build lean muscle, we need to strength train at least two to three times a week, which can be daunting for many women to go to the gym, but there's tons of options. I offer virtual and online options, so that. And it makes you feel good. It boosts your energy. It actually boosts some hormones, your dopamine. You glow and glisten from the inside out. Like and also it helps with body recomposition, because we want to get away from the scale and our weight. What we want to start looking at is our lean muscle mass, visceral fat, because we want that to be low, and we want to maintain a weight that will keep us away from metabolic syndrome, which are all the diseases we don't want to be a part of. So with that too, I would also offer at least 2 HIIT cardio sessions for the reasons of cardiovascular health as well as bone health. So you want a bit of jumping, you want a bit of impact in there to keep our bones strong. And then of course it's nutrition. So how we worked out, how we ate in the past is no longer working and serving us. So maybe we were able to eat all the processed foods and get away with it. Now, not so much. We have to eat whole foods and look at 3 meals a day. Not undereat, because a lot of women do undereat and some overeat. But it's what we eat. We have to eat with intention to nourish our bodies and to complement the strength training or exercise and movement. We also want to get those steps in, and which is neat, because that makes a huge difference. Believe it or not, our bodies are made to move, not sit in front of a laptop all day. However, I do have options for that too. There's exercise snacks. Like if you're on a laptop all day, you could get up every hour, do a couple of squats, and or some jumps, even jumping jacks, anything that has movement, and that could almost equal a workout depending on how many you do per day. It's been proven. So that's all very important. And as far as nutrition is concerned, we want to look at protein. We really want to get that protein up to at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now, it might not work for everyone. Sometimes not everyone is tolerable of that much protein, so we want to inch up to that. But then bring in fibrous greens, fermented foods for our gut microbiome, and of course, complex carbs for energy, and a little bit of healthy fats for our brain health. And
Sounds like a lot.
in my programs, I really inch up to that. It doesn't have to be an all at once. That's why I was saying you can start now if you're in your 40s and dating. And hey, that could be a date. You could walk along the water where
Yes. So I really want to echo what you said, because for a lot of people who don't practice preventive anything, I used to be that person. I only go to the doctor when I'm sick. Like, I'm
Yep.
just gonna wait. I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm like, if I ignore it, then I don't know. I don't know where we grew up with that stuff. But start now, right? So if you're already in your 40s, and by 40s is from age 40, not 49. If you're 40 and above, then this is for you. You need to start now. You don't have to wait until it's too late, because it's worse then. Whatever gains you make now will help make that transition better. It's not going to take it away, because nothing can take it away, but at least it'll be better. You already be on that path. So what Tamara is, and that is her whole jam, is to help you find ways that fit into your current lifestyle. You don't all have to hit the gym 2 hours, 7 days a week. No, there are ways that you can fit in some of this stuff that she's talking about into your current lifestyle, and she'll work with you with the fitness side of things, with the nutrition side of things as well, and just how you can make a total shift so it becomes a lifestyle shift, not something that you're doing. Oh my god, I just need to do this. No, this just becomes your life going forward, because it will help you when you do hit perimenopause.
Yeah, and there's no it's not a diet. It's not a transformation program of eight,
Mhm.
to 12 weeks. This is a lifestyle. Like this is important for health and longevity in your future self. Because let's face it, at 70, 80, we want to be able to bend down, go upstairs without huffing and puffing, and we don't want to be bent over like with a cane. You want to be able to live your life fully and with vitality. So it starts now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to all begin at once. And I like to meet people where they're at. That's why I believe in a personalized approach. So even if it's body weight, it's body weight. We start there and then we progress from there.
Yeah. And I think that's also very, very key, because people might see videos of people online, like we saw that Joan, I forget her name
Oh,
now. Yeah,
amazing.
like she's 79 and she's lifting these heavy weights, and it's so easy to say, well, that's not, it's too late for me now. Like, no, just
Oh,
start from where you are,
oh no.
right? And that's what I love about your approach. You meet people where they are and guide them on this lifelong lifestyle journey, because that's what it is. It's not a quick fix to lose 20 pounds in 20 days. It's none of that stuff. This is something that is going to help the inevitable, because whether you like it or not, you will hit perimenopause, you will hit menopause, and you will be faced with a lot of these symptoms. So, like you said, we want to be able to move around in our 80s, right? I was someone who was overweight for over 30 years of my life, and I know even in my 20s, in my 30s, I couldn't even walk 5 miles, because that's how heavy I was. But now, with losing weight and eating better and being healthier, I'm just like, well, who is this person? Like, I feel better than I did in my 20s, and I'm almost 50, right? So there's so much benefit in doing the work and putting in the time and making this a priority, right? Because we don't want to be old and bent over, like you said, or you can't get up, and now you need caretakers to take care of you.
Exactly, exactly. And honestly, I started working out in my early to mid 40s. I've competed. I didn't know that I was in perimenopause, so that was a great idea. Who knew? And then that's why I sort of changed my career to want to help others in their 40s and 50s start feeling better, because I was like, oh, I never knew I could look like this and get on stage regardless.
Yeah. Oh, you look 25. Like I'm sure people tell you all the time, you must be like 25, 27.
Never. We have to embrace our aging. And I used to, my 50th birthday, I didn't tell anyone I was turning 50. I was like, just come to my birthday party. Yes. So we have to, I think we've had to reframe a lot. We're unlearning a lot to learn more about ourselves and really embrace this age and stage, because I think it's going to be the best yet.
I think so too. I definitely think so too. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. So if you're just joining, we've been talking about perimenopause and some of the things that you can start doing now, not when you're in it, now. So if you're 40 and above, things that you can start doing. And if you're in perimenopause, then you definitely need Tamara. If you're having the hot flashes and you're low energy, you don't feel like going out, you're not going on dates, your relationship, you're enraged all the time and pissing off your partner for no damn reason because your hormones are all over the place, then you need to work with someone who understands that transition and that process, because this is not the doom phase of your life. This is actually the best time of your life. So it's knowing how to kind of channel all the changes that are happening to propel you in the right direction for your best life yet. And that's what Tamara helps you with. And I just help you with the dating side of things. So if you're in peri or you're pre-peri and you need dating tips, come talk to me. But if you want to know how you can still live a full life,
Yeah.
Tamara's your girl.
And then there's the human design, which you're doing too, which I think just to find out more about you. How does that work?
Yeah, so human design for me was like, it was a total game changer. I knew there was something wrong with dating relationships because let's face it, most people were getting divorced, most people are unhappily partnered, and it just wasn't working. And I was like, okay, so what's going on? Dating coaches, everyone is saying, do this, be this. Again, like we're saying, just the performative. Just if you just did, you will get the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, and you will live happily ever after. Well, it still wasn't working, because guess what? Not everybody wants to wear a pink dress and smile and just be there and not say anything on the date and just do that. No, some women want to be boss ladies. Some women want to act a certain way. Some people know in the moment that this is not for me. Some people need to sleep on it, right? And I just kind of knew that this whole cookie cutter approach to dating, there was something missing. And so when I found human design, it was like, oh, light bulb, we're all different. We're all unique. Rightfully so. So there's a way that you're designed to be, there's a way you're designed to date, there's a kind of partner that is aligned to you, but you can't meet that person if you're not your true self. If you're still wearing this mask and being in a performative stage, then you're only going to attract other people who are wearing masks as well. So I say human design, one, helps you to become you, the real you, not the fake you, not the false you, not the social media version of you, not even the one that your parents raised, but really becoming the real you. And when you become the real you, then you can attract an aligned partner who is also the real them. And then both of you can come together, and then the true beauty of divine union, love as it was designed to be, can actually happen. But yeah, the first stage, human design, you got to know yourself. Most of us don't know who we are.
True,
We,
true.
we know what we were told to be. But look where that's gotten us. So yeah, so I love human design. I just think that it's the best tool out there as till today, 2025, that can really help you understand why you behave, why you act, why you're attracted to certain people, why you respond in certain ways. It's really the only tool I've found that can help you discover who you are. And until you discover who you are and embrace it, there's no way you're going to be able to attract an aligned partner. You'll attract some things, but yeah, good luck with that one.
Okay. Well, I'll have to take your test or your
You should, yes. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for people if you want to run their test and start to discover who they are and learn about yourself, because it's going to be even very, very key when you start to get into perimenopause, because perimenopause, as we've learned, is the switch. It's like, okay, now it's time. And human design is there to say, oh, yeah, now it's time. Okay, so let's figure out who you are. Oh, you're this, you're this, you're this. Oh, okay. And then now you don't need permission. Now you don't feel guilty. You can just courageously just embrace who you are and just show up as your amazing, authentic, beautiful self.
well said. Um, That's fantastic.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So good. So in terms of final words, because I know that there will be people on here, and that used to be me. Well, I'm not in perimenopause. Like I'm too busy. I don't have time. Like I'll deal with this
Oh,
later. Yeah, 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 yeah. What advice or what few tips would you want for people who are not ready to dive in? They're like, okay, I'll come to it in 5 years' time. What few tips do you have for them that they can start implementing now? So those are people who are not in perimenopause. And then what tips do you have for people who are currently in perimenopause and are just battling all of this 100 symptoms?
well, I think they would almost be the same. Like with lifestyle, definitely start with movement, and looking at how you eat. I didn't include sleep, how important that, as well as stress management. So those can equally affect your symptoms and your perimenopause experience. Uh, Sleep, we didn't know it was as important as it is, but it affects your cognitive um, state, as well as symptoms, as well as your cravings, yet again. So that doesn't help when we're trying to at least maintain a healthy weight. If we lose, and when I say lose, I mean fat, not weight, because weight is many. Um, and then so sleep, we want to get at least 7 to 8 hours, which is hard in perimenopause because we do that in the middle of the night. That is another symptom, and kind of ruminate. So there are supplements that can help. There's a sleep hygiene that you can put in place, like you go to bed half an hour early, you get off your phone, you eat or drink close to bedtime, and you take a walk after dinner. Those things will help. You have cool sheets. There's a lot you can do. You can even change your light bulb to red.
Oh,
That will just help with your circadian rhythm. So there's those tips, and then as stress management, like our life is stressful. No matter who you are, we're all so busy. We all have things tugging us from this way to that, but we do have to manage that because it does bring on extra fat, cortisol, inflammation. And it's yeah, it just exemplifies our symptoms. So things that you can do for stress are like meditate, journal, even just take a moment, breathe. Even if it's like 4 breaths in, hold 4 at the top, and breathe 4 to 8 out. That helps with your nervous system. So you can even go further and go into like sound baths and actually even yoga is very calming and great for that, because you really have to focus and be present, or Pilates. They're great exercises for stretching and just calming your mind, or walking. We need to get those steps in. Walking can really reframe, your and really um, uh, change your state of stress.
yeah.
So there are those, and then as far as symptoms in perimenopause, there and after being educated and a little bit more aware, there are tons of uh, support platforms, such as the online platforms that I mentioned earlier, which is cool. Uh, Felix and Modern Menopause. So you can start like, and then also like once you notice your symptoms, you can go see an MD that is menopause certified, or ND, a naturopath, and they can help you. And I mean, I'm happy to put your Mena Squad, that's what I like to call it, together as well. I've got a concierge of resources. So like things that we might consider, hair health, support with your hair, because some people start losing their hair. It starts thinning out as we go through this age and stage, as well as pelvic floor health. That's something we might not have never thought of. Um, and then Others might, look at therapists because this is again a time to sort of intrinsically look within and look at things like trauma. Trauma affects us as well, like any past trauma.
Yeah.
So there's an army of support and guidance that we can utilize at our fingertips. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. I
And
I I love that very, very, very long list. But it's good because again, like we mentioned, being aware is it can make a world of difference than just trying to wing it.
yes,
Right. And so we've talked about now, so you're going through that transformation, you're going through that transition. And then we also talked about earlier how it could impact your dating. So you're changing, your body is changing, your hormones are changing. What you liked in men before, probably not what you like in men today, because you're changing. Be kind to yourself. Accept and embrace the change, right? If you want something different, just honor it. Go for that something different. Don't exclude yourself. This is not a time to isolate or be like, okay, I'm done with men are all men are what. No, it's not about that. It's about your changing. Honor it, and then look within. With this new version of me, who do I want? What kind of partner do I want? What is my soul calling forth? Right? Maybe when you were younger, you wanted to party all night, but now you just can't do it. Now you're a homebody, so you want a different kind of person. You want to do a different kind of. I used to be a party animal. Now I just don't. I don't even want to see humans. I just want to be at home. And I'm not even going through perimenopause yet, and I just don't want humans around me. So right, so you're changing, your body is changing, your hormones are changing, and we also talked about letting your potential partner know that you're going through this so that they can also be supportive. Like make sure you have a support system that also understands what you're going through. Um, Tamara has mentioned some online communities that you can be a part of so that you know that you're not alone. Like every woman is going to go through this and there is support out there, right? So get the support that you need. It's not the end of the world. Your life is only about to get better. Get the help you need. If it's for your well-being and your lifestyle, Tamara is there. If it's for your dating, so that you can understand how this changes impact the way you date, well, I'm there and I can help you with that. But this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the next phase of your life, and I want all women to embrace it and honor it and celebrate it and not look at it as, oh my God, yet another thing that women have to go through, right? This is your activation.
and there's actually tons throughout the city. There's tons of events to go to. So, I mean, join in. It's a revolution. It's a call
Yeah.
to connect with those that are like our age and stage and like-minded. So, yeah, and they're fun events, all
Yeah.
having menopause that you can learn about. So, I'm speaking at one on Monday, which will be fun. It's with Fem City Networking Group. And yeah, no, there's just tons throughout the city that I think would be important to go and be a part of. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fem City, which is where we met. Which is about a year ago, almost a year ago. Yeah.
and I wanted to mention if you're in the Markham area, I do train at a gym. It's called Iron Fitness, and I also train at Verity. If you're a member of a Verity Women's Club,
Mhm.
so in person as well, but mostly virtual and online.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people who are so big, like you said, we're all busy, world life is happening. If you have kids, you have younger kids, like there's just so much going on. There's the virtual option as well. And like we said, this is a lifestyle change. It's not come lose 20 pounds in 20 days. No, this is a holistic approach to really helping you through this new phase of your life.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this was great. This was amazing. Please reach out. I will post in the show notes so you can reach out to Tamara if you want help with this transition, part of your life. If you want help with dating, you can reach out to me. And we're here for you. We're just here to support and share as much information. Like Tamara's mentioned, there's so much information out there. There's no need for anyone to go through this alone. There is support, and we're here to support you every step of the way. So,
Exactly.
yeah, this is
But this is
awesome.
what I like to call our iconic era. This is where we get to be legendary, we're wise, we're experienced, we have
Yeah.
lots to give and serve to others. So, welcome to your iconic era.
Welcome to your iconic era. Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much, Tamara. It was fun seeing you and talking with you.
I know, always fun. You're
It's always fun.
the light.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're always here to support you. Thank you so much, Tamara. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.